Hello everyone, this is Beastly Eel here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the results of the latest death battle. And this death battle was between Rocket Raccoon of Marvel versus Stitch from Lilo and Stitch, specifically Disney. So, for those of you who don't remember in my prediction video, I'm going to re-announce it again. As much as I want you to watch it, I'll just say it. I thought Stitch was going to win, having to do with the fact of his physical strength. I felt like they might have been even in intelligence, although I do believe that Rocket Raccoon was smarter than Stitch. But that being said, I also felt like Rocket's arsenal was not strong enough to actually do enough damage to Stitch to actually kill him. Even though I thought he was very intelligent and everything else, I thought that even with his tactician skills and everything else, he could not outpower Stitch. So, I do have to say this. The location of this death battle was by far the funniest place we've ever been. We've had Space Australia from Team 4 Star, and now we have Space Hawaii. And we were on Space Hawaii. Do not ask any more than that because that's where we were. Space Hawaii. So Rocket Raccoon is fixing a ship. Stitch was in a volcano because he's Stitch, got blasted out of it and crashed into Rocket's ship and destroyed it. And that's when the two of them began to fight. So right from the get-go, Stitch definitely had the advantage. He was physically stronger. He was knocking him around with ease. And everything, in the beginning anyway, that Rocket was shooting at him was either bouncing off of him or he was able to catch and throw back at Rocket. It wasn't until Rocket realized that, one, he was not going to be able to beat Stitch the way he thought, that's when he went into the woods. I don't know what it's called in a tropical island, but I'm going to call it the woods. It was a very wooded area, a lot of palm trees. So anyway, it was a very hidden location. And Rocket goes in, and then Stitch follows. That's when Rocket lays out all these traps for Stitch and starts basically blowing him up. Bomb after bomb, blaster after blaster. I mean, Stitch is taking hits from all over the place. And it's alluding to the fact that it lasts a while. Stitch thinks he goes after Rocket. He bites him. It turns out to be a hologram next to a nuke. It explodes and still doesn't kill him. I say nuke, but I would say it's got to be like the equivalent to a nuke without the radiation. But still was not enough to defeat him. That's when he goes on the offensive and starts um, ripping Rocket Raccoon apart. What happens is he calls in this big weapon, his Thanos killer, blasts Stitch, and in fact, that blast did cause damage to him and knocked him into the water. So right then and there, I was like, oh no, I was wrong. But it turns out that Stitch made it to the bottom of the water, used a device that Rocket had in there, shot himself out, and actually slammed it into Rocket Raccoon and killed him. So, in the end, it was the Stitch that won the death battle, which means I was right, and it's been so long since I've been right. I'm happy about that. But a couple of things that I was not actually clear on. So it turns out that it looks like Stitch and Rocket Raccoon were very close in intelligence, which is a little surprising for me, but they thought that if it was slightly more on one end or the other, that it was actually going to be Stitch that is the smarter one. Stitch was obviously physically stronger, which should not have been a shock to anybody. However, the one thing I thought would not be the case, I was wrong, in the sense that Stitch would not be affected by any of the weapons that Rocket Raccoon had. I was incorrect on this. He had a couple of weapons that could actually do damage to him. Not enough necessarily to actually kill him, but enough to cause him damage. So this was a very significant difference because I thought this was going to be a walk in the park. Now, most of his arsenal was not able to do much damage to him whatsoever. But his Thanos gun and equivalent, I think there was one other gun that potentially could have caused him damage, um, actually did not hurt him enough to actually kill him. So he was able to survive it and actually kill Rocket. Rocket was obviously physically weaker, did not have strong enough healing factor. They both were equal in their senses. So it was thought that they were both equal in their like senses, in the sense of their sight, their smell, and the vibrations and their hearing as well, and vibrations in general. So that would have canceled each other out. So neither one would have been able to sneak by the other. So in the end, it was Stitch that actually won this death battle, which I'm very glad to see that I got right. Let me know what you guys thought about this death battle in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you not? And why? Love hearing from you guys. Also, the next death battle is going to be between Darth Vader versus Obito Uchiha. So it is Star Wars versus Naruto once again. And we will have to wait a week to find out my prediction video on who I think is going to win that death battle. But for now, if you like the content you see, please like and subscribe below. Other than that, this is going to be Beastly Eel signing out. Have a great night.